Just start singing.
All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Xmas Your Enthusiasm. All right, episode 5 of Xmas Your Enthusiasm, and today's episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm we're going to talk about is Club Soda and Salt. Season 3, Episode 3, debuted on September 29th, 2002. It's my buddy Will's birthday, 9/29. Happy birthday. I mean, it's not today, but man, '02, the fall of '02, I was in love. Not with Will. Not that there's anything wrong with him, but, you know, not my thing. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to be talking about that episode. I'll tell you what it is as soon as we get to it. But first of all, I think I just had some old motherfucker eyeball me down at the Wegmans. He and his wife, I assume it was his wife, because, I mean, they both looked like they were about ready to hold hands and be found dead together. And I'm just walking. I guess I just happened to be staring in that direction. Oh, all of a sudden I see he's giving me that death, that like, don't even, buddy, don't even look at my girl. And I'm like, bro, I'm not desperate. I'm sorry, I've given up, but I ain't desperate. So that was a bit much. But I do want to piggyback on what I said an episode or two ago, whatever, about The Office. Like, why don't we just have a standalone service of we all pay like $10 a year, and the people on The Office can just do whatever. They can do new episodes if they want. They can redo new episodes. You can swap in. Hey, we got Robert California. Let's do a Michael Scott scene with him. I've been doing my first Office binge in a while. I mean, it's things didn't stamp in my brain like everybody else. I'm recently taking a pop back into seasons 8 and 9 because my nephew, for the first time, he loves The Office, loves it, but he's never gotten past the Michael Scott year, so sounds like he's finally getting into that, so I'm excited, so I'm getting into it. And number one, people love to jump on like he's the problem or whatever. There should not have been less Robert California. There should have been more. They should have just let him loose. Like when he was unleashed, weird motherfucker, Robert California, delightful. Partly because it was the exact opposite of Michael. Like, Michael was goofy, childish. Even when he talked about sex, it was like weirdly childlike. Should have been more Robert California. More Robert California. Should have been more Clark. That kid was hilarious. Sorry, Pete. You were fine. You went on to White Lotus. But Clark, that kid should... If there was a spin-off of The Office after the last season, I'd have been glad with Clark. Anyway. And I do have to say, I can't believe I'm saying this. Here we are at the end of August, and I cannot complain about the weather. Some stretches this summer have been brutal, but overall, I got to say, these last couple days, I've been off enjoying my vacay, so I've been doing a lot of walking. You're welcome, ladies. Or just lady. I just need the one. I just need one. If that. You know what I'm saying. And the weather has been so incredible. No humidity. It's like if you were just to dream up, if AI just dreamed up the most perfect spring day, even for someone who hates spring like me, I could not ask for more incredible. So I assume I'm jinxing it now. And tomorrow's going to go back to 150 degrees, but this weather has been phenomenal. So I had to say it because nobody loves bitching about. To be honest, part of me feels like it's missing if I can't bitch about the heat during the summer. I feel like a Red Sox fan must have felt when they finally won the World Series in '07. Like, if I can't bitch about that, what am I? Who am I? But hey, got to give credit, got to give it up when we got to give it up. All right. Let's not forget, this season of Xmas Your Enthusiasm is dedicated to Malcolm Jamal Warner and Danielle Spencer, Theo and Dee. Thanks, guys, for all the laughs. This season is dedicated to them. And also, this season is, of course, sponsored by Pepsi Cola. Pepsi Cola. Just fucking drink it. Okay, so Club Soda and Salt. Like I said, season 3, episode 3. I already said the thing about it being my buddy Will's birthday, and I cleared it up that Nothing wrong with it. Dudes just aren't my thing. We talked about that. Anyway, so according to IMDb, which let's hope they got it better than the last episode when they botched the Ben Stiller thing. Larry, Jeff, and Ted seek a chef for the restaurant. Larry doesn't like Ted's idea. Larry searches and learns things. Cheryl has a new male tennis playing pail. Wedding gifts a year later rejected. Club soda and salt removes all stains. This is a terribly written. I'm a professional writer or whatever. I don't like to get shitty about. I don't like to judge writing on shit like this, but this is terribly put together. This is 2 straight strikes, IMDb. I'm sorry. I may have to take my no business elsewhere if this continues. Anyway, so yeah, this is part of that season's arc where Ted Danson, Larry, I guess Jeff's in there, and my favorite, Pip, Michael York from 1974's BBC Great Expectations. He's in there for some reason. I don't know how he got swept up in the Larry David universe, but I like it. So, and also, I was thinking this because we've seen a couple episodes of this season have been from this era, the season 2, 3, 4. I don't know if we've had any from 1, but I love the show all throughout. I love it from beginning to the very end. Larry David knows this, but there's something about those early seasons, the look to it. There's a warmth to it. I love the houses, but and it's also, I guess, the footage, the film, just the way things look, because back then things, whatever. I'm just really loving this look, so I'm kind of feeling good about keeping going with season 3. We'll see if this makes me a little softy, leans in Larry's direction. Going into things, let's see, for the season so far, after 4 episodes, he is 29-16, so he's still doing pretty good. Let's see if we can put some space between there and really get him in the winning books. So here we go. Curb soda and salt. Okay, so this is unusual because we just saw the episode before this, the Benadryl Brownie. I think it was 2 episodes we did earlier. Anyway, Larry walks into his house, the home I love, super cozy. I mean, I don't know how he does it in LA, but and Cheryl turns out has some tennis buddy. He looks like, I don't know, 30-year-old guy, good looking, in shape. Obviously, he's playing tennis, and Larry walks in, and they're giggling and laughing, and having beers, and so he gets a little little chuffed, as they say. And to be honest, I think part of it is because they were laughing, because Larry does comment, he walked in, well, I don't know. Oh, Cheryl says, we didn't hear you. And he was like, well, you guys were laughing pretty hard. And I've been there where, I've been jealous in the old normal jealous way, but sometimes I'm like, oh, I like this woman. And then if some other dude makes her laugh, the blood just comes out of the eyeball. So, I can't remember if that's really part of it. But anyway, no man, especially with Larry's old shriveled up old man's dick, wants to walk in on his wife with some young bohunk like this. Not only does he look good, not only is he twice as in shape as Larry David was, even when Larry David was in shape, whatever century that was. Nobody wants to see that coming home. So he's right. It's weird. Cheryl needs to warn him something. Hey, Tony's coming over today. I don't know, something. So Larry starts a 1-0, and then it pivots to the age-old argument. She's like, oh, we're just friends. And Larry's like, he wants to bang you. And Cheryl's doing no, we're just friends. And it's not 100% true, but it's 99% true. Yes, Cheryl, he wants to fuck you. Yes, girls, I'm sorry to give you the one fact of the universe, but especially in this case, you can see from a mile away. She wants to sit there and giggle and twist her little pigtails and act like she doesn't know. Okay, then she's queen of bullshit manner. But come on, it's ridiculous, Cheryl. Even Larry knows better. He's lived in this planet long enough. 2-0 Larry. All right, another strong start by Larry after last episodes. Are we going to be calling it a bit of a stumble by the end of this episode? I don't know. I'll tell you what I do know is that this entire season 3 of Xmas Your Enthusiasm is brought to you by Pepsi Cola. Pepsi Cola. Just fucking drink it. Quick note, at the restaurant, somebody, this is where the title comes from, knocks, I don't know what it is, wine or something, on a couch cushion, and the guy springs into action, and the secret is apparently club soda and salt and just let it sit and it comes right out. Has anybody out there ever tried that? Does it work? I'd try it, but I don't think I've ever. Tell me if anybody else is like this. I don't think I've ever watched any sort of tutorial video, any how-to video on YouTube. I don't think I've ever watched one and I actually was able to do what I wanted to do based on that video. It just never works. So if anybody out there has tried it and it works, let me know. Thanks. Okay, I know this isn't a podcast about the show itself, but I haven't gotten a lot of fuck you Jeffs this season, so let me just say this. The chef of the restaurant has just come up to them. If you remember, this is the chef from the Benadryl Brownie that Jeff asked for ketchup on a steak. And this guy's had a total meltdown, and he's got to quit. And it's pretty much based on Jeff, the fucking 6-year-old boy at the zoo, needing to have ketchup on his steak. I don't know why I feel so good about this, but anyway. Okay, so now Larry, so that she doesn't have to play with young bohunk Tony, is out on the tennis court getting his ass kicked by Cheryl. But he starts bitching and moaning because I guess she grunts. Like, I guess it's probably a reference to, was it Monica Seles who used to do that in women's tennis? In women's tennis, as opposed in the post office. I don't know. In the accountancy. Anyway, so he gets frustrated because he's getting his ass kicked, and he bitches at her about making all the grunts and noises or whatever. And it's like, and she just kind of laughs at him, and it's like, Larry, you're lucky your old ass is out there, has this woman an eighth of your fucking age, is he giving you time of day, much playing tennis. So unless she's, she can be barking at the fucking moon and oinking like a pig, unless she's shouting out your bank account numbers, how about shutting the fuck up and, as usual, counting your fucking blessings? That's a loss, Larry. I mean, we know this is going to probably blow up in your face, but 2-1, Larry. Okay, so now Cheryl's doing some weird footsie thing with Larry, like, oh, I'm going to go see this play, Tony and Tina's Wedding, and Friday night, and Larry's like, what, don't you want me to go? Whatever. And then turns out the bohunk Brad is in the play, and so now Larry's like, what the fuck, And I gotta say, Cheryl should have just come out and said, hey, my buddy Brad's in this play, let's go, support him and have some laughs or whatever. I don't know why she's doing this little Girl Scout routine with Larry. Not that that's a thing. But anyway, Larry wins this. It's not that Cheryl's being an asshole, but it does play into the old, sometimes it just helps to have a bigger asshole in the room. And Cheryl's just being unnecessarily weird when usually Larry is doing that, is handling all that heavy lifting. So 3-1 Larry. Okay, so now after her Oscar-worthy bullshit performance, I guess Cheryl thinks a little bit of sex is going to make Larry forget all about it, which, let's be honest, it probably will. So they get it going, get it popping in the boudoir, which, again, I love. It's like dark shadows, the walls. It's very, very 90s in that cozy way for some reason. Anyway, Larry knocks over a glass of wine onto the rug, and he jumps up, and he's like, oh, my gosh, I know how to get this up. He wants to do the club soda and salt thing. But Cheryl gets upset. She's like, no, stay here. Don't worry about it. Just fuck me. I'm like, nobody understands women less than me. And certainly marriage is how this go. But I find it hard to believe that the number of women throughout history who've been married to an old motherfucker like Larry for as long as they have, who, when sex is just getting initiated, starting up, if somebody spills some wine on what I'm assuming is a pretty expensive rug, and it's the woman that says, no, leave it, I'd be surprised if the number of women who have done that throughout history is higher than 0. Because that is complete bullshit. Especially, and she gets even madder when Larry's sprinting up and down stairs to get the shit he needs to clean the rug, and now she's just screaming at him. Larry! Yeah, okay, that's how it is. Anyway, 4-1 Larry. I mean, God bless him. He's doing the right thing, or trying anyway. 4-1 Larry David. I mean, this old Willy Wonka grandfather motherfucker wants to jump out of bed, clean your fucking rug, talk you through it as he's doing happily with a smile on his face and then spring back into bed and fuck you, and you're going to give him the stink eye and bitch about it? Come on, Cheryl. I'd say be better than that, but you'd have to be. On a side note, doesn't this put to bed all this bullshit? Every couple of years, they love to put out some article. You know what turns women on? When men do housework. And it's like, sounds like bullshit. It's propaganda, and it's bullshit. And even Larry David apparently knows it. So anyway, side note over. All right, so now, the other episode, we have Jeff's cooking for the crew. And now we go to Ted Danson's house, and his home chef. All these motherfuckers have home chefs. He's gonna do a meal for them to try out for the restaurant since Jeff's guy quit. And they get into a bit of a. Larry gets into an argument with Ted because he didn't want Ted to tell the guy that he was auditioning. He was like, "You should have just said you had friends coming over." Ted says, "Fuck that." He's like, "This is high pressure shit. We got to open the restaurant in 3 weeks. Come on, we got to put the guy." And I got to side with Ted on this. The right thing to do, you got to be up front. Put a little pressure on this guy. So Larry loses that 4-2. But let me make another side note. I'm sorry for all the side notes, but I know I was blathering last episode about how good looking Ben Stiller was, but is 2002, and I can't believe I'm saying, I would never have dreamed I'm saying this, Ted Danson? I mean, this is a handsome motherfucker. Now, I know all throughout the Cheers years, he was slinging, Sammy Mayday Malone, coxman of all time. But, the hair kind of looks ridiculous now, and he would always have those, teal knit sweaters pushed up to the elbows. Like, how he got anyone, I mean, that tells you how good looking he is. And I think Ted Danson here is at, 55? He's got the silver fox, looks like he's in very good shape. I gotta think this is peak Ted Danson. Woo! Let me cool down, everybody. So they're gonna have a meal served by Ted's chef, who, by the way, is wearing a shirt that is so ugly it is reminiscent of Brian Hackett's wardrobe from Wings. But so they're gonna have him try a meal and see if he's good enough for the restaurant. But right now, Larry David is at 4-2 for the episode. Don't forget, Express Your Enthusiasm Season 3 brought to you by Pepsi Cola. Pepsi Cola. Just fucking drink it. So, of course, they have the meal. Everyone is ecstatic about it except Larry, who's a bit meh on it. He even used salt on it. And so everybody's pissed off at him because Larry's like, he's not good enough for the restaurant. He's not what we need. And on one hand, I agree. It's like, I've never seen anybody give less of a shit about food than Larry David, so why would I give a fuck what he thinks? But you have to respect him for, they're under pressure. You want to be honest, and because if not, you'll really fuck it up at the end. So you got to give that one to Larry. 5-2, Larry. Oh, and now we have a win for Larry in the sometimes it just helps to have a bigger asshole in the room. I didn't think it would be Ted Danson, America's beloved Ted Danson, but Ted Danson makes Larry tell his personal chef that the meal wasn't good enough. So why would he do that to this chef? If he's your personal chef that you know and you're so fond of or whatever, why would you humiliate him like this? And, why wouldn't you just after the meal, hey, everybody loves it, and then just, hey, I don't know his name, hey, Joe, hey, it's not going to work out. Everybody loved it. Don't worry about it. Why would you force him to do this? Real dick move by Ted, and just gives Larry a big win. Too easy. Come on, Ted. Although this chef did try to pull off a Brian Hackett shirt. So, I mean, come on, bro. Have some eyeballs at work sometime. I just can't with the easy wins for Larry. Now he's riding in a car with Cheryl. Cheryl puts in a CD, and it just happens to be some sort of mix from Brad, the Bohonk. And, of course, Larry gets pissed off. I mean, and then Cheryl's like, what? That's bullshit. That's out of bounds. Jeez, that's too easy. Larry's running away with this. 7-2, Larry. Come on, people. I can't believe this. Whatever the record is for bigger assholes in the room just handing Larry a win is, I think it's going to be this episode. Now he's walking around some shop to find a gift for their friends for their wedding, and this sales clerk is just following him around, badgering him. Now, full disclosure, The actress is played by Sarah Silverman's sister, and yes, I have met Sarah Silverman, and yes, there was a connection between us. My words, not hers. But anyway, he's just browsing, and she is relentless, like you've never seen, just on top of him, blah, 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 blah. And he finally snaps, like, please, just leave me alone. And she is just, here, Larry David, here's your 8th freaking win for the episode. Unbelievable. You know, I would say she's all over him like white on rice, but isn't there as much brown rice in the world? Like, can't we say, why isn't it like brown on rice? Or is there some horrifyingly racial thing that I'm not connecting with right here? But yeah, she's just all over him. It's ridiculous. Here we are once again with Cheryl with it. What? They're in the car, and the bohunk, I don't know why I keep calling him, Brad calls. He's on speaker, or whatever it was called back then, and Cheryl immediately goes, Larry's in the car. And of course, Larry's pissed off. Like, why would you have to say that? You know, blah, 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 blah. And I do have a fondness for this, because anytime I'm in someone's car and they get a call, I do always make the shitty joke, you're on speaker. You know, like the little panic thing. So I have a little soft spot for this, but yeah, come on, Cheryl. And then again, she just acts like, what? She's just off the charts. Bigger asshole in the room again. 9-2 Larry. This is a rout. This is getting ridiculous. I like this episode, but now the clerk, he's chased down by the cops, and it turns out it's Sarah Silverman's sister. That sales clerk has chased him down. She thinks he's stalking her or whatever. This whole thing is just too ridiculous. I'm gonna give Larry one more point, but like, I can't remember how far it goes, but like, this is the dumbest. I can't even. 10-2 Larry David. This is getting ugly. Call in the subs. Although in her defense, I will say that if things with Sarah Silverman and I don't work out, no problem getting with the sister. So she'll be thrilled to know. She'll be thrilled to hear the news. Okay, so a little side plot is these friends they ran into earlier, Cheryl realizes they never got them a wedding gift from a year or whatever ago, and now the year window, that I guess there's a year you have to give somebody a wedding gift. I give Wegmans gift cards, so I'm good. And so she's like, oh shit, we give them a gift. So they get them a $200-$300 bottle of wine or whatever, show up at their front door, and here's an interesting instance of not only does it pay to have one bigger asshole in the room, but Larry's got 1, 2, 3 bigger assholes in the room, because now, he's getting blamed. They're like, we can't accept this because, fuck y'all, this is late or whatever. He's getting yelled at. Meanwhile, Cheryl, obviously, let's not play games. Obviously, Cheryl's the one in charge of getting wedding gifts in this arrangement. Excuse me. So she's the first asshole that fucked up. And then this other couple, it's like, you know what? Shut the fuck up. Take the wine. Have them in for some cheese and crackers and wholemeal chili. Nod your wave, and then talk shit about them like everybody else. Why do you have to make a big deal and like reject the wine? I reject the wine because of your fucking wedding gift giving principles. But it is weird when Larry pointed out, because the wedding was in Chicago, which is, for a destination wedding you made these fuckers go to. He threw out the number that they're in for $5,500. I don't know why he didn't just say $5,000 or $6,000. It's a weird number to say, but anyway, 11-2 Larry. I'm gonna have to look up what the record for wins in a. I think he got 14 once. I'll have to look it up, but runaway win here for Larry. 11-2. Okay, so the final one is. Of course, we couldn't get through an episode without the curb law that Larry can't leave his house without bumping into someone he knows. He's at this restaurant. They're all after the Tony and Tina show. And after some shenanigans with the guy Brad, who it's just some weird, awkward, absurdist stuff that made it even weirder about him and Cheryl or whatever. The Sarah Silverman sister character shows up. She happens to be eating at the same restaurant. And her husband comes over and confronts Larry. So another win for Larry. He finishes 12-2. It's ridiculous how easy it was for him. I like this episode, but they made it way too easy for him. And it ends up with Brad rubbing salt and club soda, whatever, all over Cheryl's tits. You got to watch it to know what I'm talking about. So anyway, So Larry goes. He breaks a record. That episode is 12-2. That's the most wins for any episode he's ever had. Goes 12-2, so he's 41-18 for the season. Larry running away with a great season. But before we go, I meant to bring this up earlier. I am reading The Mayor of Casterbridge, the Thomas Hardy novel, and before you ask, yes, that does make me better than you. And tell me what you think of this. Henchard stood without the inn for a few instants. Then blah, 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 blah. He entered the inn door. Henchard stood without the inn. So obviously, then he enters the inn door. Without the inn, without there means outside the inn. I've never heard that before. I've read my share of books in my life. I've read my share of Thomas Hardy. I think a couple seasons ago I told you all about the curiously specific burglar that stole my Thomas Hardy book of poems from my doorstep one day. But I've never heard without used for outside in that context. Anyway, slide to my DMs if anybody wants to tell me it happened to that. I just creeped myself out. Anyway, great episode for Larry. What can you do? He's crushing it this year. 12-2. Thanks everybody for listening. Don't forget to, this is sponsored by Pepsi Cola. Pepsi Cola, just fucking drink it.